Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and for today's video we're going to be talking about the books that I want to read in the month of February. In 2021 I've kind of decided that I want to make my TBR videos smaller, or that doesn't make any sense. Nice. I want to put less books on my TBR, at least that I'm telling you guys about in videos, just to kind of like manage my expectations and in a way manage other people's expectations, even though I know you can't do that, but just in the way of I don't want to say that I'm going to read something when I know it's not likely that I will, like it's a very maybe, and then have people get excited about it and then I don't end up actually reading it, because I just feel really guilty when that happens, even though it's not that big of a deal. These are the books that I am genuinely really excited about. January I only read 6 books and it was kind of not a great month for me. School started and my mental health started declining pretty rapidly and very steeply. And it's still not where I would like it to be, even a little bit at this current moment in time, but I'm doing things to hopefully help myself feel better, which is all anyone can ask of me, including myself, even though that's a hard thing to admit. But I think there are only 5 books on here. A couple of them are graphic novels. This is what I can manage mentally this month. This is what I can manage telling myself I want to do this month. So I might not get to all of them, but I'm going to try my best. Hi, so it's February 1st and I'm editing this video so that it can be posted today. And I realized that it's Black History Month and there's only one book on my TBR that is by a Black author, which is very embarrassing, both that I forgot and that I only put one book on here. In the video, I edited it out because it wasn't worded the way that I wanted it to be, so I'm putting this in instead. I did mention that this is not a very diverse TBR, and I'm well aware of that, and I am disappointed about that, but for me, I wanted to include books that didn't like really intimidate me, whether they be short or I'm already reading them, so it seemed like there was less to read, which was kind of my whole thing when making this TBR. So as a result of that, it's really not diverse because my shelves aren't as diverse as they should be to begin with. But something that I forgot to consider was audiobooks, which don't like intimidate me as much because it's not physical reading, and lately physically reading has kind of been stressing me out because I'm not doing it, and so it makes me like feel bad that I'm not doing it and that I should be doing it, and so then I don't actually want to do it. It's a whole thing and it's not a great cycle. But with that being said, audiobooks don't stress me out as much, and I have a bunch saved by Black authors that I do really want to get to. And so I'll prioritize those this month over the physical books. So we have Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm very, very sorry if I'm not. But I'll have all of the links in the description below if you want to check them out. Excuse me. I also have Take a Hint, Denny Brown by Talia Hibbert, Reluctant Royals and When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, which I think is going to be really hard to read but really important, Legendborn by Tracy Dion. I don't know if I'll get to Legendborn, if I'm being 100% honest with myself and you guys, just because I'm not in a huge fantasy mood, and I want to give this book like a fair shot because I have a feeling that I'm going to love it. So that one, I might read it, but it will probably be later in the month if I do pick it up. Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown I also really want to get to, but again, seeing as it's fantasy, that might wait until the end of the month or later when I genuinely want to read it, because for me it's a lot more important to say that I'm going to read these books and genuinely read them versus just saying that I'm going to read these books so that I can say I included them and I have a diverse TBR, because that's performative and not really doing anything, and I don't want to do that. So those are the books that I really do want to get to, that I have saved on Scribd, and I'm going to prioritize this month. I am sorry that I forgot and I didn't initially include the books in my TBR, but I just wanted to mention that and say that those are some of the audiobooks that I will be listening to, specifically the ones by Black authors, because those are honestly the ones that I'm most excited about scrolling through that entire list. So
let's talk about the books that I want to read this month. The first one is one that I'm carrying over from last month, and that is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I got 104 pages into this one, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I just put it down because it's gonna sound stupid, but it was on the other side of my bed from where I sleep, and so it wasn't like, I know it's in my bedroom still, and I walk around my bedroom 100 times a day, but it's like not in close enough proximity that when I wanted to read, that's what I would pick up. And generally when I wanted to read, I wouldn't pick anything up just because I was feeling really sad, so yay for me. But yeah, this is one that I still want to continue on with this month. I might not finish it because it is kind of a long book, and like I said, I'm trying to manage my expectations for myself, but I do at least want to pick this up a couple of times this month and make some progress. The next book that I want to read is one that I recently picked up but came out about a year ago, and that is Check Please Volume 2, Sticks and Scones. This is the second book to Check Please Volume 1, which I really enjoyed when I read it in 2019. And I've been wanting to pick this one up ever since. This is about a boy named Eric Biddle, but everybody calls him Biddy. And he's on a hockey team and he's going to a private school. There is a little bit of a sapphic romance in here, which I really enjoy, and it's super sweet. So I can't wait to see how everything continues in this book. But yeah. It is a bit of a lengthier graphic novel, so I have a feeling it's going to take me a little bit of time to get through, but I'm still really excited, and I hope it's not the conclusion, but even if it is, I hope that it's satisfying. The next one that I want to read is another graphic novel, and that's Moonstruck Volume 3 by Grace Ellis and Shay Beagle. I have really enjoyed the first two volumes. I particularly love the art style. It's just super cute and pastel, and all of the characters are super sweet. There is also a sapphic romance, or more, I think there are more than one, but I'm having trouble remembering in this one, and there's a decent amount of representation. I haven't done research on the authors or illustrators of this, so I can't speak to the how accurate the representation is, but I haven't seen anything negative about this. So this takes place in a world where humans and stereotypical fairy tale creatures like fairies and werewolves, etc., kind of live in harmony, and we're following a group of characters on different adventures. That's what each one is following. So it'll be interesting to see what they get up to in this particular volume. Then we have one of my most anticipated releases for the year, and that is A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kemmerer. I cannot believe I'm holding this in my hands right now. This is the conclusion to the series that started with A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, where we're following Harper, who has been whisked away from her home in Washington, D.C. into another world where a prince needs help to break this curse. There's a bit of a love triangle in the first book, and in the second book, a bunch of things go down, which I won't spoil for you, but I do have non-spoiler as well as spoiler-filled reviews for both of those books. So in case you're interested, I will have those videos linked down below. This is the conclusion, and I'm nervous, but I have a feeling that this is going to be really, really epic, so I'm excited to pick this one up throughout the month as well. The last book that I want to read in the month of February is a reread for me, and that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I read this, I believe, the end of 2018, and I literally read it in a day. It was wonderful. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. But unfortunately, I read it so fast that I don't remember anything. And the Shadow and Bone TV show is coming out in April, and so I would really like to reread this and continue on with the books so that I'm not spoiled for anything that happens. And I know I need to read the Six of Crows duology as well. So it's just going to be a lot of Leigh Bardugo, but I am excited to pick this up and reread it because, like I said, I enjoyed it so much when I read it the first time, so hopefully that will be the case upon reread. And I'm excited because I don't remember anything, so it'll be like I'm reading it for the first time. Those are the 5 books that I would like to attempt to read throughout the month of February. I'm going to try and do a reading vlog or 2 this month, but we'll see how I'm feeling. I have no idea. I think I'm going to do an update on my mental health really soon, so stay tuned for that because I know it's something that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a long time and I have been too nervous to do it. That's it for today's video. I hope you're doing well reading, mentally, and otherwise, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!